Okay, let's talk about something that's, well, it's pretty frustrating, right? These big global institutions, like the UN. Whenever there's a crisis, we all look to them, but so often they seem completely powerless. So here's the big question for today. What happens when you throw the incredible, inhuman efficiency of AI into that very human mess? Let's get into it.
I mean, it's a question you've probably screamed at your TV, right? A crisis is unfolding, and you see these huge, powerful-looking organizations, and they just seem stuck, paralyzed. You have to wonder why. Are these things just broken from the start?
And it all boils down to this really weird paradox. See, on the one hand, they're completely indispensable. I mean, what's the alternative for getting everyone to talk? But on the other hand, they can feel totally impotent. They can't force a powerful country to do anything it doesn't want to do. So they're somehow at the center of everything and totally on the sidelines at the same time.
So yeah, let's dig into that. How can something be so critical yet so toothless?
All right, and this is where it gets really interesting, maybe even a little counterintuitive. All those things we complain about, the slowness, the bureaucracy, the endless meetings, turns out that's not a bug, it's a feature.
Yeah, you heard that right. The whole point is that these institutions were never supposed to be some kind of quick, decisive world government. Think about when they were built, right after catastrophic world wars. Their number one job wasn't to solve every problem, it was to stop the big powers from tearing each other apart again. The goal was to manage rivalry, not get rid of it.
It's wild, but the people who designed these systems actually thought speed was the enemy, so they intentionally built in friction, you know? It's like putting speed bumps on the road to war. All those procedures, all those rules, they were designed to force everyone to slow down, to talk, to cool off. Delay wasn't a flaw, it was a firewall.
So you can see there's this huge gap between what we want them to be and what they were actually built to be. We expect this superhero global government that swoops in and fixes things. But what we got was more like a boxing ring with a very slow referee. It's an arena designed for disagreement, where the goal is just to keep the rivals in the ring and talking, not to declare a winner.
Okay, so if the system is meant to be slow, what happens when you introduce something that is all about speed? I'm talking, of course, about AI. Now, AI isn't showing up to take over the world. Think of it more like a brand new, superpowered intern.
So what can this new assistant actually bring to the table? Well, it tackles three huge problems that plague any giant bureaucracy. First, memory. It can instantly pull up every relevant document from the last 50 years so you don't keep making the same mistakes. Second, synthesis. It can read 1 million pages of reports and tell you the three things that actually matter. And third, scale. It can watch everything, everywhere, all at once, 24/7, without ever needing a coffee break.
And you can see how this would be a game changer for the day-to-day stuff, the less political work. Imagine an AI drafting all those routine reports or providing instant, perfect translations in a meeting. It could spot patterns in satellite data to warn us about a coming famine. And, this one's a big one, it can apply rules and standards with total consistency, without any of the biases we humans have.
Sounds great, right? A perfect efficiency machine. But this is where things get complicated. This is the moment that the clean, logical world of code smashes right into the messy, irrational, and deeply human world of politics. Think about it. AI logic is all about finding the single, most efficient, clear path to the best possible outcome. But political logic, it's not that at all. Politics often needs ambiguity so that both sides can walk away feeling like they won. It needs wiggle room and discretion, not black and white rules. The goal isn't the best solution, it's the solution that everyone can grudgingly live with.
And this brings us right back to where we started. AI's core promise is speed, but in the world of diplomacy, slowness is often a strategy. You use it to let heads cool, to build a fragile consensus, to avoid rushing into a terrible mistake. Faster isn't always better.
And here's the real kicker. Imagine you have an AI whose job is just to report the facts. What happens when it spits out a report that proves, with undeniable data, that a major power is cheating on a treaty? That kind of radical transparency, that uncomfortable truth, could be the very thing that blows up the delicate political deal that was keeping the peace.
So, the real danger here isn't some sci-fi movie plot where the AI goes rogue and starts a war. Now, the threat is actually much quieter, much more subtle, and maybe a lot more realistic.
There's this concept called efficient drift, and it's a really important one. Picture this. An organization is already kind of heading in the wrong direction. Maybe its mission is outdated or it's working on bad assumptions. Now, you bring in AI. The AI doesn't ask, hey, are we sure this is the right way to go? Nope. Its job is just to make the trip more efficient.
It's like putting a rocket engine on a car that already has a broken compass. You're just going to get to the wrong destination a whole lot faster, having burned through a lot more fuel to get there.
So what if the answer isn't another shiny tech solution? What if the most radical idea is actually restraint? Instead of asking AI, how can we do this faster, maybe the better question we should ask ourselves is, should we be doing this at all? It means being brutally honest about what these institutions can and cannot do. And it means that maybe, just maybe, embracing that deliberate, frustrating human slowness might be the wisest choice of all.
Which leaves us with one last question to chew on. What's the real goal here? Are we trying to solve every global problem, or is the actual, more humble and maybe more important job just to manage them? To manage our rivalries and disagreements just well enough so we don't destroy ourselves? Because depending on how you answer that, well, that changes absolutely everything.